Welcome to another episode of Chad Sports Talk. My name is Chad. Take a dive with sports. Here we are, conference championship weekend. That's right. We're down to the final four to determine who's going to represent their conference for the Super Bowl in SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles in a couple weeks. And we have a few surprises that kind of show up in there. An old hack appeared, and there's some interesting layers and matchups to kind of look into. And before we dive into all this excitement coming up this weekend, if you could go ahead and smash that thumbs up for me, especially like the content provides you. It really pleases YouTube gods, help promote this channel. You can also subscribe. I've checked my analytics. I love you guys review my work. I love you all for doing it. Now, many of you subscribe. This costs you a dime. It helps me provide more entertainment value for you. Now, looking at this, your final four teams, of course, you got Cincinnati going to Kansas City. A rematch of Week 17 matchup, and then round 3 of the 49ers and Rams. And a lot of things to kind of look into this one. This is the third trip for the Bengals. The previous two times, they won and went to the Super Bowl only to lose to the 49ers. Kansas City's trying to make it 3 in a row, which would be the second, or they will be the third franchise to do so, matching the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. San Francisco is looking to return to the Super Bowl after a year out. Remember, they were in it 2 years ago where they lost to the Chiefs. And then the Rams are trying to become the second team in a row to play in their home stadium for the Super Bowl, a la Tampa Bay did last year. And to get the Rams back into the Super Bowl under their new quarterback, they traded away Goff for Stafford, and this is why they brought them here to lead them back to the promised land. So how this is all going to play out? I mean, this is so exciting how these matchups occurred. As I said, Week 17, Kansas City went into Cincinnati. This pretty much was a game for them to lock up the number 1 seed, and unfortunately, they had no answer to Jamar Chase whatsoever. Is that there's no answer because they left them open quite a few times, which ended up burning them. Jamar Chase had a spectacular game against them in that time frame in Cincinnati, and it's just and then if you look what Cincinnati did last week in Nashville, Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times and still won the game. He couldn't contact. His headset was working with his head coach, offensive coordinator, but yet he still won the game because he made the calls. This talent on the Cincinnati is phenomenal. I mean, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase connection once again. You know, they used to be LSU teammates. Now they're in Cincinnati. Joe Mixon's another great asset, and the tight ends they have in Cincinnati are another asset for Joe Burrow. So there's a lot of things going right for Cincinnati. A little bit of a line protection issue to keep Joe Burrow upright, but he's talented enough to make the plays. Now, on the opposite side with Kansas City, this is a team that has 5 brand new starters that took them a while to really gel together and get everything in place. I mean, if you look at what they did against Buffalo, that was the most epic game ever, especially for a divisional round. And Wade, those two just went jab for jab. I mean, I think that's going to be the MO for the Chiefs for the remainder of the games that they play in this year. But Patrick Mahomes is another level. Tyreek Hill is another level. And the running backs they got have stepped up to take point. I think Kelsey is another one of those clutch receivers you got to have. I think Pringles also stepped up as the receiver position as well to kind of help out. And the Chiefs' defense have started to clamp down a bit, even though last week they were gassed. They were just out of it. They just couldn't stop anything. But you also got to think Matthew wasn't there for majority of the game because of concussion. He's now cleared that, so now he's going to be playing in this one. I have a feeling it's going to be a different mindset for the Chiefs going into this one. They don't want to create the same mistakes they did with Jamar Chase. I expect them to get doubled up a lot, which then is going to force Cincinnati to beat them with other assets. Cincinnati's talented enough to do that. There's no question about it. This is a very, very well put together a team right now for this year, and this definitely, if they keep this up, they're going to be a threat in many, many years to come. And with Kansas City, I think I had Kansas City winning Super Bowl before this whole thing started, and I'm not going to back away from them now. So even though I think everything's pointing towards the Bengals winning this one, but I will stick with the Chiefs. I think right now the line, according when I record this video, they're by 7. Definitely not going to be by 7. You can just toss that one right out the window. It's probably going to be like a 3-point game like it was last week. It's going to be close. Our first meeting was 34-31. The Chiefs ended up winning 42-36 last week. So I expect somewhere in that range of, the high 30s, low 40 matchups between these two. So, but Chiefs in a thriller once again. And then the NFC side, round 3 between the 49ers and the Rams. Last time these two faced off was, of course, week 18, and the Rams had to win to get in, or at least have an opportunity to get in. And the Rams just had to, if they won it, they won the division, but they had a lead early, much like they did with Tampa Bay, and they allowed teams to come back. And the 49ers is one of these teams you can't do that with. They went to Green Bay and took it to the Packers. I mean, they coughed up that early touchdown, but after that, only 3 other offensive points. And the defense just dominated the whole aspect. And it's just, their offense couldn't do much of anything. Both these quarterbacks, Jimmy G and Stafford, tend to keep the other teams in the game. So it's going to be interesting for that to see which one kind of folds first. But, that last week, in the regular season, San Francisco came back, won in overtime. I mean, you got Robbie Gould. I mean, he's golden. So, you get that aspect with the kicking game. So, you got a clutch kicker. With the Rams, you look at their defense with their 3-headed monster of, Sam Darnold, Von Miller, and Jalen Ramsey. And you look at the 49ers, you got Bosa right there in the front, and then the rest of their team is, not many big names, but they're very well coached, very well organized, and they're very aggressive, and then they're very locked down when they have to be. So it's going to come pretty much, who is really going to develop, the way to kind of control the game. I mean, there's both teams have weapons that you can rely on to pick up, but and I know the 49ers have had the Rams number this year and for many years so far, and I think because of there's going to be a lot of pressure on Sam Darnold. He was traded, and they called up draft picks to bring him here for this game to get the team back to the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of pressure on Sam Darnold to deliver the goods, basically. I mean, when you got Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham as well as your 2 receivers, I mean, you got to do something. You got Akers and Michelle as your 2 running backs. They have the offensive talent. They have the smarts in the QB to do this. And the 49ers got that, Swiss Army knife, Deebo Samuels, a running back and a wide receiver body. And then Kittle as well. I mean, this guy is just phenomenal and as receiving and as well as a blocking tight end. And Jimmy G is a very well experienced. I mean, he took the 49ers to the Super Bowl, so he knows how to get there. And it's just both these McVay and Shannon, it's just both of them are very, very good coaches. I mean, this is going to be an epic showdown. I mean, once again, I think the best 4 teams have made it to the conference championship game. I mean, you could throw in the Packers and the Buccaneers have been probably in there. I mean, yeah, but as of right now where they're playing, these are the best 4 teams. And with the Rams and 49ers, I had the Rams in the championship game anyways, preseason picks. I had them losing to Green Bay. Now Green Bay is not out. I had to put the Rams as the favorites, and I will take the Rams edging out the 49ers. And I think the time of this video, they're favored by 3.5 it's definitely going to be closer than that. It's going to be a 3-point game as well. These conference championship games are just going to be on point. I mean, this is something you want to watch. You're going to cheer. You're going to probably have a heart attack, especially if you're fans of either of these teams. And I think it's going to be down the wire, both these games. It's, I am picking the Chiefs and the Rams for the Super Bowl. I would not be surprised if the Bengals or 49ers got in. I mean, it is how close these teams are, but I have to stick with what I had to stick with the team that I originally went with was the Chiefs, and like I said, I think this is give Mahomes a second Super Bowl victory in 3 trips. It's probably gonna put them another level in terms of echelon of the greatest or the quarterbacks. Those are my picks for the Super Bowl: Chiefs and Rams. So Chiefs got to visit to another team's home stadium in the Super Bowl. Say they be a little bit better than what they did against Tampa Bay last year. But those are just my picks. Let me know down below who you think should be in the Super Bowl. And if so, who's your winner? Right now, I'm still ride or die with the Chiefs. That's who I picked in the beginning of the season, and who's I'm going to go with until they're out. You go, hey, go share this video as well, especially like the content. It really helps, promote this channel a lot. And you go subscribe. Once you subscribe, hit that bell notification. Let you know next time you post a video. And I will see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.